It is almost impossible to imagine that here in the small parking lot in Berlin, under all the cars and dog shit, lies the place where Hitler killed himself. This is the place where the horrors of World War II came to an end. Hello, I'm Amir and you are watching the GoOn Berlin Guide to Memorials in Berlin. A vacation to the German capital can be a complicated journey into the darkest moment of human history. When traveling around the city center, it is impossible to ignore all the memorials to the victims of the Holocaust. The German government took it upon itself to educate the visitors and the locals about the horrors of the Nazi regime. We start our journey in the Reichstag building. In front of the entrance to the security booth, we can see the memorial to the murdered members of the Reichstag. The 96 cast iron plates commemorate the same number of members of parliament who's been murdered by the Nazis. It's been designed so that it can be extended if new names were to discover. Next to the Reichstag is the entrance to Park Tiergarten, where we can find the memorial to the Sinti and Roma victims of National Socialism. The monument is dedicated to the memory of the 500,000 victims of the Nazi genocide of the European Sinti and Roma people. In the middle of the dark pool, the triangular stone represents the badges that had to be worn by the concentration camps prisoners, and a fresh flower is placed upon it daily. In bronze letter around the edge of the pool is the poem Auschwitz by Roma poet Santino Spinelli. When crossing the famous Brandenburg Gate, we reached the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe, the biggest and most well-known memorial in Berlin. Designed by architect Peter Eismann, it consists of 19,000 square meters site covered with 2,711 concrete slabs arranged in a grid pattern on a sloping field. The memorial is dedicated to the memory of 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis. The abstract memorial has no single meaning or interpretation, and all visitors are welcome to go inside and get lost between the slabs to find their own individual interpretation. Just please don't use the memorial as a playground, don't stand on the slabs, and don't take funny, happy or sexy pictures. Respect the place and the memories it represents, and don't make a fool of yourself like so many other visitors. Next we cross the road toward Park Tiergarten again, where we find another concrete slab. This is the memorial for homosexuals persecuted under Nazism. Through the small window we can see a video of a gay couple kissing. Every 2 years a new video is made showing 2 men or 2 women kissing. While the number of gay people in concentration camps is relatively unknown, researchers estimate the number of men convicted for homosexuality between 1933 and 1944 at between 50,000 and 63,000. When we continue walking in Tiergarten, we reach the memorial and information point for the victims of the so-called Euthanasia killings. From 1940 to 1941, over 70,000 people were murdered under the Action T4 plan. The targets of this genocide were those deemed to suffer from mental or physical illness. After the Third Reich ended the program, the killing continued in Nazi-occupied institutions and care facilities. This amounted the death toll of approximately 300,000, all for the twisted idea of human eugenics and racial hygiene. The goal was to ensure that the next generation will have the most favorable genes, like those in line with the idea of the Aryan race. The memorial provides information about the history of the killing, how it is relevant today, and portraits of 10 victims. In this exact place where the memorial stands, the Nazi headquarters for the Action T4 were located, making this memorial even more powerful and chilling. Back in the parking lot, right next to the Holocaust Memorial, there is nothing to see. At the end of April 1945, when he sees his Nazi death machine is doomed to be destroyed and there is nothing he can do about it, Hitler takes his life and the life of his just recently married wife, Eva Braun. Later, their bodies burned out outside the bunker on this land. And today what left from the place where it all ended is just an old, neglected parking lot. A place to park the car and go somewhere else, not a place that will ever be a pilgrimage site.